Be seated, please.
Distinguished guests, university colleagues, industry partners, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, those of you who are graduating today, I welcome you all here. In particular, I would like to extend a warm welcome to Mrs. Elizabeth Daly, OAM, Fellow of the University of Tasmania, Mrs. Margot Smart, OAM, and Mrs. Mary Ferguson, Scholarship Supporter. As a reflection of this institution's recognition of the deep history and culture of this island, the University of Tasmania wishes to acknowledge the Palawa people, the traditional owners and custodians of the land upon which we meet, and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. Now, I'm delighted to be here to participate in this ceremony. For you, the graduates and diplomats, graduation is an important rite of passage, one you won't forget. Most of us here have graduated. Don't forget our day of graduation. It is a fitting outcome of the commitment you have made in gaining higher education qualifications. You can justly feel proud of yourselves. You've been encouraged to develop the knowledge, the professional skills to help you make a major contribution to your chosen field and to society. You've had the privilege of studying at a distinctive university that commands great respect nationally and internationally, a place where inquiry, ideas and innovation flourish, a university that is uniquely Tasmanian and is deeply connected to its community and the island. Today, you join a body of graduates and diplomats who have taken their learning and skills into the community and have applied it to benefit humankind, whether it be in Tasmania or elsewhere in the world. In joining them, you bring honour to yourselves and to the university, your alma mater. Now, I want to say something about the ceremony in which you are participating today. Many of you probably are wondering what's going on. Why are people dressed the way they are? Why are they going to go through, why was the procession coming in with all that pomp and ceremony? What's going to happen next? So I think I should explain to you why what's happening is happening. There are 5 essential elements of this ceremony: your family and friends and members of the community, the academic staff, the academic senate, you the graduates, and me, the Chancellor. Now, family and friends are not only here as supporters and helping you celebrate your achievements, but they play a very long historical role. In fact, they are witnesses to your graduation. Remember, universities have been around for over 1,000 years, and for about a bit less than half that time there was no printing press. All records had to be written out longhand. And so people weren't sure if a person said they had certain qualifications that they were to be believed. So it was important to have a witness at the graduation ceremony so someone could vouch for you and that you'd been admitted to your degree or diploma. Secondly, you've seen members of the colleges and staff from the university through a procession come into the room, led by the usher of the black rod and followed by the mace bearer. The only other place that they're used are in parliaments in the Westminster system, and they are a symbol of authority, but also the mace particularly was there to protect the Speaker of the House of Commons in the UK and protect the Chancellor. You might think that's strange, but always ideas have been contested, and contested ideas sometimes bring strong emotions. So a couple of speakers lost their head in parliaments. I'm not sure whether chancellors did. Nobody's attacked me yet for giving the degree to the wrong person. but that's how far it goes back. The procession itself dates back to the earliest traditions of universities, where graduating students and professors would walk through the town so that members of the public would recognise graduating students and their qualifications. Now, the Chancellor's role is fairly central too. The Chancellor was originally a member of the Church, because up until the Reformation in England, the Church controlled education, and until the Reformation. So Henry VIII, with breaking from the Roman Church, took the powers that the Church controlled over education to the state. Since then, the Chancellor's been the representative of the state, and he or she wears robes similar to the Lord Chancellor of England. As Chancellor, I will admit you to your degrees or award you your diplomas on behalf of the University of Tasmania. This is the moment of your graduation. But before then, the Chair of the Academic Senate, on behalf of the academic staff, will acknowledge that you, the graduands, are qualified to be admitted to your degrees or awarded your diplomas. Now, the Academic Senate has a very long history as well. It is the present-day equivalent of the ancient guilds, who insisted that they were the ones who verified the appropriate standards were met. A separation from the role of the state to determining who received an educational qualification. So it was beyond politics. And so the decision to you getting a degree is not a political decision. There's no interference by the state, and so that gives you a legitimacy that the Academic Senate is here to protect. So still, the Academic Senate approves all courses and approves the fact that all of you have reached the appropriate level of appropriate standard to achieve your degree. So that's the other element. So that as the ceremony finishes, we will process out of the room, and the graduates, with their new status as graduates, joining the academic community, join us as the first people out of the hall. So that's the meaning of the ceremony. So as you celebrate your graduation today, you join a vibrant global family of 120,000 graduates that have taken this precious Tasmanian experience to all continents around the world, across more than 120 countries. I trust that all of you, as members of our extended family and as continuing members of the university, will maintain a strong interest in the university. It is now your turn to shine, to take talent, skills and expertise that you have honed through your studies at the university to see Tasmania realise its full potential and more broadly to other countries. Tasmania, we want, through your leadership in the future, create a place that is truly sustainable, equitable and prosperous. It is to you now who we look to lead, to imagine and shape our future. Remember your times on the university campus with fondness and cherish the connections that you have made and the relationship you have built. I hope you'll never lose the thirst for knowledge that is the true outcome of higher education, and will continue to use the skills of an analysis and inquiry that you have learned in the course of your studies to seek balance and clarity on the issues and problems you will face. Not only the ones you face, that you lead because of your new status in conversations in the community. And in many ways, that ability to think critically is the most important thing you'll take away from your degree, because I was reading just this morning that children who are 15, well, adolescents who are 15 now will have 14 jobs and 5 careers. Such is the change in the world. So how you learn and your continuing learning is more important than what you've learnt already. So that's very critical. And at this moment in history, I said about the printing press earlier, the printing press caused a revolution because all books, pretty much all books, were written longhand in Latin. So the people didn't have access to them, and therefore they didn't have access to knowledge. It was a small few who learnt. Because of the printing press, people read in their own language. And this created a level of self-awareness that led to a sense of nationhood, which I believe was one of the main reasons why the nation-state emerged. We are now going through, in my opinion, the biggest change in the way we communicate to each other since the invention of the printing press, which I think goes some way of explaining why knowledge is so contested, why we can have so-called fake news, why people can say things, a lot of things from my point of view, but you've all got your own, which are patently wrong. And we have to get mechanisms to interpret what is right and wrong, what is correct and incorrect. And you, as people with recent graduates, take your skills into that world where it is extremely turbulent, because we're in such an era now. So ends me going off script. I'll go back to script now. Now today is a day for you, for your celebration, and a time for reflection with your fellow students of your time at the university. So it's predominantly a day for you, your friends and your family to celebrate. Enjoy the day with your family and friends, the people who've supported you. Now it's now my pleasure to invite Ms. Kim Seagren to present the occasional address this evening. Ms. Seagren is co-owner and co-developer of the award-winning Stillwater restaurant and 7 Rooms, the Black Cow Bistro in Launceston. She helped found Harvest Launceston, Tasmania's community farmers market in 2011, where she still sits as president. In 1997, Kim was elected to the Vineyards Association of Tasmania's Committee of Management. During this time, she was on the working group to develop the National Wine Tourism Strategy and sat on the resulting Australian Wine Tourism Alliance. For over a decade, Kim was Deputy Chair of the Brand Tasmania Council and sat on the board of the Launceston Chamber of Commerce, where she was inducted into their Hall of Fame in 2017. She currently sits on the Global Advisory Board for the Tasmanian School of Business and Economics at the University of Tasmania and chairs the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Committee. She received the 2016 Tasmanian School of Business and Economics Distinguished Business Leader Award. Kim and her husband joined forces with highly respected winemaker Natalie Fryer for the Able Distillery project, releasing their first 2 native Tasmanian gins into the market in December 2016. Serving on the industry reference group for the Centre for Food Innovation, a collaboration between the University of Tasmania, the CSIRO and DSTO led her to a journey with fellow group member Tom Lewis, where they are driving the Ferment Tasmania project for Northern Tasmania. Kim has a Bachelor of Science with honours in Biology from Queen's University in Kingston, Canada. I invite Ms. Seagren to present the occasional address.
Thank you for your kind introduction. Now they say to never have regrets in your life, and I truly believe that. But today I fulfill one of mine, while knowing you by just being here won't have that issue. I missed my graduation. I was a starving new graduate with a BSc Honours in Biology, tree planting in Northern Canada, when my ceremony was on. It would have taken me 4 days and my non-existent funds to get back for it, not to mention lost wages while I was gone, so I sent my apologies. To this day, I regret never donning my robes and walking across that stage. Receiving my degree in the mail just wasn't the same. Thank you so much for asking me here today to share my journey and wear these really cool robes. I know you're all sitting here today with a powerful mixture of adrenaline from the elation and excitement of today and a bit of a fear of the unknown. What's next? Where to now? Kind of like how I felt before I got up on the stage. Congratulations. You have reached the culmination of thousands of hours of study and plain hard work to get here. Many of you will have been on a single pathway striving to achieve this moment, and now the world is your oyster, but you just have to find the ocean. Until now, your path has been largely dictated along a single stream. Next step is much more complex, as pathways and options for where you head next are seemingly endless. I know where you are. Not only have I been through this myself a very long time ago, but my 24-year-old son has also just graduated. I know your joy, and I know your fears. For those of you here tonight who have supported someone going through university, thank you. You have supercharged a life. As parents, we know this is a brief time to bask in the glow of success as we hunker down to support for the next challenges and chapters our offspring face. Funny thing I found out not so long ago, parenting never ends. Some of the things I have learned on my fabulous, convoluted journey through life I'd like to share with you. Use your voice. If something doesn't seem right, question it. If something is just wrong, voice your concerns, but don't hate. Too much vitriol is sprinkled out there right now, particularly on social platforms and even in some political spheres. But if something is right and good, give credit where credit is due. Please understand that you are the only one who knows what you know, and you need to share that. And I know this sounds a little bit Dr. Seuss, but it took me a long time to figure that out. You may influence one person, or you may start a revolution, but it all starts with your voice. When you have achieved a level of comfort in sharing your voice, you next have to help give the bandwidth for someone else to find theirs. Build people up, help them realize their strengths and superpowers. Everyone is different. My advice, always lift while you climb. Look at the talent around you and surround yourself with it. Success can take on many different forms and can be through somebody who you have championed. Ask for what you want. No one is a mind reader. If you want to play on that team, if you want to sit on that board, if you want to be part of that project, ask to become involved. The only thing that can happen is someone says no. And with each no, you build resilience, a character needed particularly at the beginning of these early days in your career. Think of how your life might change if somebody says yes. On that, say yes. Jump at opportunities. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to find that perfect job, that perfect role, or that perfect position right away. But don't turn your nose up at any job thinking it's beneath you. Investigate, see if it will help achieve something on your life journey. Is there someone in that organization who would serve as a really good mentor? Will you learn a new skill in a much safer, more nurturing environment? The road to the top is not always straightforward. If you do want to get to the top, everyone you work with and everything you do helps you on your journey to climb that ladder. And nothing is forever. If you really don't like what you're doing, you are not married to it. You can move on. But give it a good red-hot go to see how much you can gain from each and every role. Look up and away from the screen. Take the buds out of your ears and smile at your neighbor. Make friends with your barista, chat with your local shopkeeper. Learn how to interact with colleagues and strangers. Cultivate these soft skills that many are neglecting. Understand how to read people to know what they want and need, because someday they may be your client, your customer, or your colleague. Everyone you meet is important and ultimately makes you who you are. We are a nation of cultures from around the world, so be aware of these cultures, but embrace them as only an Aussie can. Be positive. Don't look at things as challenges. Look at them as opportunities. The glass is half full, the sun is rising, there are some great projects ahead. People who enter a room glowing with that positive energy will get it back in spades. Life is not just black or white, right or wrong, hot or cold, and there are way more than 50 shades of gray. Even the differences between day and night have dawn and dusk. Understand subtleties and nuances, and be prepared to listen. Really lean in and try to understand what someone is saying rather than just trying to think about what you're going to say next. Effective listening will bring a wealth of new knowledge and ideas into your thinking. Collaboration is key. You guys were raised to collaborate. From your early days in primary school with your desks arranged in circles, to group assignments in university, you work well as a team. You know your strengths and skill sets, and where you don't have these, partner with those who do. Through collaboration comes innovation. Through the collaboration comes opportunity. Your networks are your future. In life as in work, do something that will bring you moments of joy. But most importantly, do something that will give you reason to rise out of bed each and every morning and hold your head high, knowing you're making a positive impact on your community, your country, and making the planet just a little bit better. Even if it's stocking shelves or making the best coffee you can, it will help someone else do their job to make life just a little bit better. For all of us scientists here today, use that critical thinking, which has become part of who you are, to continually test, question, and reevaluate. Opinions these days seem to be taking on more importance than facts. You need to continue to test these facts so they are robust and stand strong in the face of contradictory opinion. You need to learn how to reason and give considered debate to ensure you keep the facts front and center of all your decision-making. For those of you graduating in business, I am very jealous. If I had to do it all over again, I would have studied business to have all that knowledge and those essential foundations to help me in my work. It is a hard slog being a serial entrepreneur, walking the tightrope between good governance and good process, and risk, and making the budget balance. But oh my goodness, when you get it right, when you hit that sweet spot and get a business really singing, there is no better feeling. In my journey, I have studied freshwater systems, waitressed, tree planted, researched molecular genetics, worked in bars and pubs, lived across Canada, battled a pulp mill, skied, raised a son, played tennis, drunk too much, helped build the Tasmanian brand, worked out, grown and made wine, made some great friends, moved to Australia, made some more great friends, traveled, distilled gin, married, built respect for the Tasmanian tourism industry, built businesses with my husband and others, won awards, bushwalked, helped found a farmer's market, helped build the Tasmanian wine industry. All of which I have done has helped not only create me, but enriched a community, which is at the absolute core of my being. In these crazy times, the world seems not to make sense anymore, and chaos reigns, but what I see is opportunity. We are all here today because we want to make it a better place. So we're better than to start now, helping craft the future you want to see for yourselves and your planet. Align yourself with those who can create the positive change and become a force of nature. You'll only get out of life what you put into it. Today you start an exciting new journey. What kind of world are you going to help create? Good luck. Go forth, be brave, but remember to be kind too. I know you're all going to help make our world just a little bit better, and for that, I thank you.
Well, what's stopping you? Let's get out and go. Because that's the feeling that I got because of that address. And that's not a bad feeling to get from a valedictory, from an address such as the one that was just given. So the occasional address today should be an inspiration to you all to get out there and have a go. Most of us know what's the most difficult thing we have to overcome, that we should do that we don't. Work out what yours are, as our speaker just urged you to do. Overcome it and get out there and create. So they are the messages that I received from your speech. I think it was a great speech for graduates, and I think it'll be an inspiration for them. So thank you very much for it. Now, moving on, before we have the actual graduation, just find my place. Before we confer degrees and award diplomas, we are to hear the Bach Concerto for 2 violins in D minor, performed by the Conservatorium of Music student Mr. Stuart Robertson and alumna Miss Nicole Wood. Very well done. People come from different places in this university. Performing like this is beyond most of our dreams. Yet, from this university, these people have come playing Bach to that professional level. And so, for them being here today, and I think that was the best rendition today, I thank you very much. I think you've performed very well, and I want all of us to express our enthusiasm for the way they've played. I now call upon the Chair of Academic Senate, Professor Natalie Brown, to present candidates for degrees and diplomas from the University College, College of Sciences and Engineering, Tasmanian School of Business and Economics and Graduate Research.
I call upon candidates for degrees and diplomas to stand. Chancellor, I commend to you the candidates whose names are listed in the conferral list before you for admission to the degrees and for the awarding of the diplomas shown. They have completed all requirements to the satisfaction of the Academic Senate.
By virtue of the authority vested in my interest, of my office, I admit you and the candidates in absentia as listed in the conferral list before me to the degrees and award the diplomas for which you and they have qualified.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in congratulating the new graduates and diplomates. Graduates and diplomates, please be seated. Chancellor, the graduates and diplomates will now be presented to you.
I now call upon Associate Professor Andrea Carr, representing the Chief Executive of University College, to present diplomats in that college.
Chancellor, I present to you those diplomates to whom you have admitted to the Diploma of University Studies, Arts. Patrick James O'Halloran. Savannah Webb. Chancellor, I present to you those diplomates to whom you have awarded the Diploma of University Studies, Education. Natalie Rose Foster. Nikita Joe Ramage. Chancellor, I present to you those diplomates to whom you have awarded the Diploma of University Studies, Health. Kaylin Sky Dominique Georgette Barreto. Bindu Pordell. Liana Marie Penny. Ashley Radford. Melissa June Wells. Chancellor, I present to you those diplomates to whom you have awarded the Diploma of University Studies, Health Science. Mason Adrian Reed Munro. Angela Jane Vinan. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the University College.
I now call upon Mr Michael Van Balen, representing the Executive Dean of the College of Sciences and Engineering, to present graduates and diplomats from that college.
Chancellor, I present to you those graduates whom have admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Applied Science, Environmental Science. Bowen Cole Wagenknecht. Nicholas David Wood. Chancellor, I present to you those graduates whom you have admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Architecture and Built Environments. Stephen Wesley Bunton. Chu Hung Kai. Kylie Louise Harvey. Talia Lynn Hoyle. Kashalia Ilankoven. Tui Hung Mai. Chancellor, I present to you the graduate whom you have admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Engineering, Honours, Civil, Lucas Campbell Gofton. Chancellor, I present to you those graduates whom you have admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Environmental Design, Rui Shen Cheong. David Nicholas Crisp. Kit Alexander de Jong. Marion Elise Dunbabin. Marco Jotza. Sophie Minette Goodman. Daniel Ryan Hurley. Mia Keeley. Daryl Zen Ying Kok. Alex David Lack. Yi Xuan Lam. Li Hu Melissa Lau. Zi Wei Li. Alyssa May E. Jun Lu. Jeremy Lucas. Chanel Lung. Wangzhu Lu. Alex Petro Magnotta. Jordan Andrew McClemont. Fraser Hugh McDade. Jesse Medwin. Benjamin Millington. Yin Ong. Aidan Ellis Peterson. Imogen Rose Pennington. Madison Carolyn Price. Mitchell Llewellyn Roberts. Nur Zarif Hannes Sanusi. You see that one? Elisa Ann Dawn Shaw. Hon Yin So. Adeline Yin Shen Su. Yong Kun Su. Wan Yuan Tan. Georgia Olivia Grace Tilley. Eli James White. Megan Yana Williams. Tasia Wong Aiping. Cheryl Yo Jing Ni. Aaron Yong Chi Chuk. Jackson Emmett Young. Chancellor, I present to you those graduates whom you have admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Information and Communication Technology. Jack William Dale. Marcus John Grantham. Andrew Laird. Bradley Luke Smedley. Yusuf Uzun. Harry Brian Wall. James Harold Watkins. Chancellor, I present to you the graduate whom you have admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science, Dean Albert Durant. Chancellor, I present to you those graduates whom you have admitted to the degree of Master of Architecture, Adam Wesley Orr Liang Jun. Imran bin Mohammed Basir. Guang Wen Chen. Stephanie Shai Ying Chin. Georgina Ann East. Ashley Go. Jin Wen Hao. Lao Hui Chi. Shu Min Lui. Jai Jun Lo. Jared Pan Zi Shun. Ka Yin Peck. Sarah Ju Lim Kwa. Dylan Lewis Rowbottom. Chin Liang Si. Wan Ping Tai. Holly Alexandra Thurston Doyle. Catherine Regetza Verenfeld Van. Yen Chi Jonathan Yap. Tommy Yo Zhao Hao. Yi Lin Yao. Chancellor, I present to you those graduates whom you have admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business. Eric Yong Yi Yong. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the College of Sciences and Engineering.
I now call upon Associate Professor Stuart Crispin, the Executive Dean of the Tasmanian School of Business and Economics, to present graduates and diplomats in that school.
Chancellor, I present to you those graduates who've been admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business. Alexander Udo Alton-Dettering. Dane Bardenhagen. Daniel Lewis Britton. Hannah Wilhelmina Burke. Nicole Renee Cartwright. Joshua Thomas Coleman. Natia Kayla Louise Connell. Daniel Jacob Cook. Jared Andrew Davidson. Nicholas John Durkin. Chi Rongoi. George Man Hin Tong. Liam Thomas Neil Kearns. Ruby Ellen Lowe. Nicole Jessica Mackenzie. Amber Jade Milbourne. Mayreen Mohammadi. George Ashley Moore. Georgie Marianne Nass. Ng Si Yang. Christopher Allen Nichols. Fletcher Owen Parry. Paul Anthony Saker. Hannah Marie Steer. Larissa Story. Brodie Jeffrey Graham Sward. Ryan John Woodworth. Wu Man Quen. Chancellor, I present to you those graduates whom you've admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration. Amy Fletcher Berger. Isaac Seeney. Donna Marie Doolan. Catherine Elizabeth Kerr. Chancellor, I present to you the graduate whom you've admitted to the degree of Master of Business Administration, Jamison Luke Birch. Chancellor, I present to you those graduates whom you've admitted to the degree Master of Business Administration Marketing, Feng Zhou Yan. Chancellor, I present to you the graduate whom you have admitted to the degree of Master of Health Information Management, Karen Dawn Pearce. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the Tasmanian School of Business and Economics.
I now call upon Professor Dominic Geraghty, representing the Dean of Graduate Research, to present those graduates who qualified for a Research High Degree in Graduate Research.
Chancellor, along with teaching, research is one of the major activities of the University of Tasmania. The university is ranked among the top research-intensive universities within Australia, and the strength and delivery and diversity of our research is reflected in our consistent world-class performance across a breadth of disciplines. Our higher degree graduate research students make a significant contribution to our research activities, to the generation of new knowledge, through analysis, innovation and insight, using state-of-the-art research facilities and a truly multidisciplinary approach. Through the application of that knowledge, our research students contribute to the solution of real-world problems and to the improvement of our communities and citizens' well-being. Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to present the new Research Higher Degree graduates to you. Chancellor, you have admitted Joseph Adam Crawford to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Crawford challenged the existing theories of what it means to be an authentic leader in a world of immense complexity. With more than 1,000 leaders, Dr. Crawford created a rigorous psychometric instrument to better measure and predict great leadership. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Joseph Adam Crawford. Chancellor, I present to you Tanvi Sandesh Shinde. Dr. Shinde evaluated how probiotic bacteria and fibre ingredients can act to improve gut health. She found that the combination was best for countering gut inflammation and boosting immunity and can be used to develop new functional foods. Chancellor, Dr. Tanvi Sandesh Shinde. Chancellor. That concludes the presentation of graduates from graduate research.
It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Miss Catherine Van, who graduated this evening with a Master of Architecture. Catherine will now give the valedictory address on behalf of the cohort of students graduating today.
Chancellor, distinguished guests, members of the university, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. As English is my second language, I hope you're all prepared for a speech given in a very strong European accent. Firstly, you look fantastic tonight. I'm from Denmark, and where I come from, we don't have graduation ceremonies or valedictory speeches. So today is a very new experience for me with this and all of this. In fact, actually, almost everything I have experienced in my life in Australia is a new experience. Everyone in here have had their first new experience with something. And after that, those cliches such as what doesn't kill you makes you stronger suddenly make sense. I think we all have had an assignment that felt like the end of the world, but actually turned out as additional knowledge. I found 3 cliches that makes much more sense to me after 2 years studying in Australia. They are tacky, but absolutely true. Here's the first one. I've practiced this one. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. By Forrest Gump. When I prepared myself for going to exotic Australia, I was imagining myself studying in the sun, always with a tan, wearing sunnies, surrounded by surfer dudes and kangaroos. Oh well, good old Lonnie. Reality was I was always wearing 4 layers, sitting inside in a not that environmentally building, surrounded by more internationals like myself than Australians who often brought their dogs to school. Not what I expected, but surprisingly better, which told me not to have too many expectations because it's out of my control anyway. The second cliche is, be the change that you wish to see in the world. Wow, okay, that's a big one. When I started here, I just expected to make new friends very quickly. All my Danish jokes are insanely funny, but damn hard to translate. I also expected that there will be plenty of events with a huge crowd of audience that I really could show off my jokes for, but there was nothing. So I reached out to a student advisor and said, where is all of the events where I can meet people? I will get lonely if I doesn't get friends down here. And she turned around and said, if you need events to get friends, you have to arrange events yourself. Okay, that became the beginning of a movie night with a very small crowd. But over the last 2 years, at least at INRIS campus, we have managed to get plenty of social events that didn't only give me friends for life, but also a realization of the responsibility I have if I want things to be different. A good learning lesson to have in my pocket. The third one, be kind. You never know what battle the person beside you is fighting. I know I might sound as an apathetic person when admitting the following, but I have really learned it can be hard to make up for a bad first impression. We are all just on our way out to give first impressions, so if you don't nail it first time, it's my personal advice to never be too proud to admit your mistake or say apologize, say I'm sorry. And if we are on the other side and are the receiver of a person who gives a bad first impression, be kind. It means so much to get an extra chance or a helping hand. To finish up, I have made a brand new cliché quote for you guys, merged from previous mentioned clichés, that you can take with you on the other side of graduation. Here we go. You never know what you're gonna get, but you will be stronger if you always try to change the world with kindness. Thank you.
Well, Catherine, you went down very well. And you've imparted many words of wisdom that I'm sure people have taken on board. And I think you're a worthy representative of those who've graduated today. And I thank you very much for your valedictory address on behalf of everyone here. That just about concludes the ceremony. I want to take the time to encourage those of you who have graduated today to acknowledge the contribution of friends and family who have been with you all the way. They've worried about you and probably given you a hard time on occasions to the point of argument, but have fundamentally supported you on your path to graduation today. I now invite the graduates to stand and turn and express your gratitude to them by a round of applause. Thank you. Be seated. I would also like to acknowledge the contribution that your lecturers, supervisors, tutors and the professional staff of the university have made in ensuring your presence at this ceremony. I would ask you all to take this opportunity to show them your appreciation by a round of applause. Graduates, as you leave the ceremony, remember that you're not leaving the university. As an alumni of the university, you've joined the university community, and that's a life sentence. I urge you to keep in touch. An alumni page in your copy of the graduation program is a guide to what we have to share with you. Associate Professor Crispin, Mr Van Balen and I now invite you, your family and guests to refreshments at the Academy of the Arts building on Inverness campus. I ask you to all stand while the procession retires and invite you to follow us. Thank you very much.